Guys, it's me, the real me. I'm back.
Where have you been this whole time?
No. Me going missing, the door, the duplicates, it's all because of him.
Hello, old chum. You weren't planning on doing another Power Rangers Top 5, were you?
Read it.
Time to come back home to the Dino dimension, my 90s obsessed adversary.
I'm never going back there. Never again.
Ooh, wrong answer. Papa Spank.
Number 5. The Phantom Phenomenon. A strange spaceship arrives on Earth and is discovered by Justin's friend, Nico, while at the same time, mysterious happenings start to present themselves in Angel Grove. It is discovered that the ship belongs to the Phantom Ranger, a figure clad all in black with the power of invisibility. His true allegiance is not known, but Divatox decides to strike first and sends her forces to destroy his ship and take him out. This episode introduced us to the Phantom Ranger and set up a mystery surrounding his identity that was actually never solved. While he's all build up and no payoff, our first glimpse at him offers a pretty decent episode for Turbo, and honestly, anything that broke up the monotony on the show was very appreciated. The Phantom Ranger was an indication that some interesting stories could be launched from this season. But am I the only one who found Cassie's infatuation with him weird? She doesn't even know what the Phantom Ranger is, and falls for him before he even really speaks.
I just can't get over how beautiful everything looks. I mean, it's bright, it's colorful. Surreal? I mean, dare I say it, there's a sense of wonder here.
Oh, good. Well, that means you can help us with our incredibly urgent matter.
Hey, anything that threatens this threatens me.
Good. I didn't want to have to cut off your balls and feed them to my wildebeest.
It sounds like you did.
I did, but I won't.
Yeah, that's progress.
Number 4. Wait and see. At her ballet auditions, Kat is shamed into thinking she's overweight by a fellow ballerina. She soon begins an unhealthy habit of not eating to get into better shape for her upcoming show. To play off her body image issues, Divatox sends the monster Numbor to make her light as a feather. The other Rangers soon realize Numbor can also add weight and immobilizes some of the team. Kat then has to find a way to break the spell and help her team out of their heavy situation. So Power Rangers tried a message episode about anorexia, and it's actually not that bad. Who'da thunk it? Throw in a little black swan and a really fun villain, and you end up with one of the best episodes this season. Of course, this is nothing too serious. They didn't have the cast or an expert talk to the kids watching after the credits or anything, but it sends out a positive message, and I give them credit for that. I think Numbor is one of my favorite Power Ranger villains too. Besides adding and subtracting weight, he throws giant exploding numbers and has the best puns. So this episode is a rare victory for Turbo from several aspects of the story and characters. Wish we had more like this one.
Hi everyone, my name is Tamara Chambers, and this is Tamara's Never Seen. And today
Number 3. Passing the Torch, Parts 1 and 2. Divatox's mother urges her to remove the leader of the Power Rangers, and the rest will fall. She kidnaps Tommy and plans on sending him into the vortex of eternal doom and sorrow, but he is saved by altruistic newcomers TJ and Cassie. Tommy and the rest of the Rangers then must defeat Flamite before he burns down Angel Grove. This was the final appearance for some of the longest running Rangers. We find out in Part 2 that Tommy, Adam, Kat, and Tanya are on their final mission and must transfer their powers to worthy replacements. This episode represented a big change in not only Turbo, but Power Rangers history. The main cast, with the exception of Justin, are all switched out in a sort of bizarre mid-season shift. Behind the scenes, Jason David Frank wanted to leave the show after Zeo, but was convinced to stick around for about half of the following season. The producers later decided to just replace 4 of the 5 Rangers altogether and go with a fresh new cast. It took a while, but eventually the new team of TJ, Cassie, Carlos, Ashley, and later Andros formed one of the most memorable Power Ranger teams to date. I will admit that even though it's a 2-parter, this episode does feel rushed. All of a sudden, there's an hourglass with Fruit Loops in it, and that's supposed to signify when the current Rangers are to turn over their powers. This was never mentioned before, and there was zero build-up. Sort of strange when you consider we have seen some very well done Ranger exits before this. While this 2-parter is definitely not perfect, there are stakes to be invested in here. It also showed that the producers weren't quite ready to give up on the series, despite losing its cast. Good thing they kept going, otherwise, we never would have gotten in space.
Is that all you got, you little punk?
No.
Oh, crap.
Number 2. The Fall of the Phantom and Clash of the Megazords. This 2-parter begins with a plan by Divatox to steal the Phantom Ranger's Power Ruby. Her plan is to use it as a power source to activate the recently stolen Turbo Megazord. But first, her brother General Havoc uses his souped-up evil Zord, Metallosaurus, to attack Angel Grove and hold the fading Phantom Ranger as bait. Their plan works, as the Power Ruby successfully activates the stolen Turbo Megazord while it's piloted by the monster Crosspatch. The Rangers have to use their new rescue Megazord to fight their own twisted vehicles in a battle for the Earth. This is another Phantom Ranger set of episodes, and they prove that when he was involved, the show tried to be a little more serious. The quality of most of the episodes he's in speaks for itself. Using his Power Ruby to operate the Turbo Megazord for Divatox was pretty clever, and it resulted in one of my favorite Megazord fights this show has ever produced. The backdrop looks great as the sun sets, and this is prime Zord fighting right here. The thing that makes it stick out the most is TJ battling the monster on the Turbo Megazord itself. He tries to take back control of it for the Rangers, and it results in a unique and thrilling sequence for this show. This act also helped legitimize TJ as a courageous leader. Chances are you've forgotten about these episodes, but if you ever want to check out the best of Turbo or an awesome Megazord fight, seek these out.
You're an abomination! You think combining your little Power Ranger shit with an 80s icon like the Terminator is gonna be able to take on me?
Yes.
What is that? What is that noise? That sacrilegious noise!
It's the sound of your downfall, Dino Rob. It's over.
No!
And the #1 best episode of Power Rangers Turbo is Chase into Space, Parts 1 and 2. In this finale of Power Rangers Turbo, Zordon reaches out to the Rangers and informs them that his planet, Eltar, is at war with evil forces. Meanwhile, Divatox has hired the universe's toughest monster, Goldgoyle, to finally destroy the Turbo Rangers. While they defeat their toughest challenge yet, both Megazords are destroyed in the process. To make matters worse, Demetria and the Blue Centurion leave Earth to help Zordon on Eltar just as Divatox attacks the power chamber with overwhelming numbers. Chase into Space feels like a totally different show. The music is different, the vibe is different, the characters seem to be written much better, things are taken way more seriously, and the stakes had never been higher in the show's history. The power chamber is breached and destroyed towards the beginning of the second episode. The Rangers have a great battle in there with Divatox's army, and it ends with their powers gone and not knowing what to do next. The command center had been destroyed before, but this felt final. Divatox is called away and is set up for the next season, so all we're left with is powerless Rangers and a blown-up base. It was all leading to a fantastic cliffhanger that got rid of Justin as a Ranger and sent the rest of the team into space to help Zordon on Eltar. Is it fitting that the best episodes of Power Rangers Turbo are the last ones? Yeah, kind of. Turbo was a pretty big letdown with flashes of good stuff in it. Little did we know at the beginning of the season how fantastic the finale would be with a very different cast. You haven't won. This is only the beginning. There are more of us coming. Many more. When he decides to stop toying with you, the Master will emerge. The real Dino Rob is on his way.
Did you get him?
No, he'll be back.
Well, now that you're back, Top 5 has its real host again.
Were you guys covering for me?
Yeah. It was actually a lot of fun, though.
Maybe a little too much fun. Anyway, it's all yours, pal.
Heather, Anna, wait. A lot of stuff is going to be changing around here, and I'll explain that later, but what if you guys stay on and help me host the show? You know, like the old days.
Really?
Yes, really. Okay. Hands in.